pregame warm-ups? You sense that they were ready to be flat?
I thought in pregame warm-up, I actually thought we were okay. You know, we had a couple lapses yesterday that we addressed and we talked about. I thought particularly from an offensive standpoint, we had a really good set of meetings this morning. But, you know, obviously how we started, very, very sluggish in every phase, that's 100% my fault. And have to figure out exactly which levers to pull and which buttons to push of kind of some things here and there. Got to give Arizona a ton of credit. They were playing really, hot today in their system. Did a great job, and start from the first play of the game, just a microcosm of kind of the deal of a play to be made, and they made a great play flipping it back in bounds, and then we had a chance to probably tie the game running uncovered in the middle of the field and couldn't make that play. And Kadeem Carey was certainly as advertised as a ball carrier that we knew coming in. Thought Dinker played really well for them, and then we good or bad, we have to turn the page here quickly and get ready for Oregon State.
Mark, how important do you think that interception was at the beginning of the game towards the outcome of the game?
I don't think necessarily that individual play. I think just of a play to be made that we, coulda, woulda, shoulda. There were several of those today, and that's again where we have to coach them better. And when we have shots to make plays, got to make plays.
Coach, your defense didn't seem to be able to stop much. Is that a remnant of what happened at Stanford?
I don't think you can necessarily directly draw that correlation. I think two totally different teams in terms of scheme, and that's where again we just have to coach them better, coach them harder, find the right buttons to push to get off the field. I don't know what they were on third down, but in the first half they did a great job executing on third down, and from that standpoint it was similar, but completely different all the same.
Did they do anything to surprise you offensively?
No, that's kind of what they've been doing all year. To a certain degree, couple things that they featured, a higher percentage today, but not anything new.
Mark, what are your emotions right now? You angry? You hurt?
I'm not very happy. It's a very, very frustrating thing. Obviously, we put a lot of work into this, and our guys put a ton of work in this. You got a bunch of guys that are very hurt in that locker room right now, that care a great deal about each other, and about this team, and about the outcome, and we didn't represent that very well today. At the same time, that pride and that work and that feeling toward each other will help flush this and rally.
A lot was made of the Rose Bowl comments during the week. Did you sense a lack of focus?
No. I think absolutely part of that was ignorance. Part of that was out of context. Part of that was guys that are not. The way that was phrased, is not representative of how anybody feels, and that was never any bit of a, it wasn't, a team-wide deal at all. We've dealt with that, and we have the utmost respect for anything, and anything to do with the Rose Bowl, and that had nothing at all to do with this.
That said, Mark, it's been since 2008 you guys have had to rally to make the Holiday Bowl that year. And what do you say to your guys Monday about just saying, hey, we've been to 4 BCS in a row, and now we got pride to play for a little bit, perhaps here?
Perhaps, yeah. That's one way to look at it. I think today, again, you have to give Arizona a ton of credit for how they played, but it's more of looking inward, of us. And I think part of that, whether that's pride or whatever that that emotion is for everybody, we gotta utilize it.
Do you worry about motivation considering what's off the table now for you?
I don't think so. I mean, certainly it's a punch in the gut. There's no question about that. Just not necessarily the extrinsic part of it, but just how we played, and the sluggishness, which is again is 100%. That's my fault. That's on me, and we've got to right that ship, so to speak. Again, I thought our leaders in the locker room were already saying some of the right things to move forward, and Oregon State's not going to feel sorry for us.
You're taking a lot of the blame. How do you change what you're doing?
Go back to work is part of it. Get to know the ins and outs of some of these guys' motivation a little bit differently, better as you go along. You're always getting to know your team, as the year goes along, and how guys react to success, how guys react to failure. I think that's an ongoing deal all the time.
So do you see it more as a motivation thing or a tactical?
Well, there's always everything. Everything's on the table in a situation like this. I thought offensively, we just needed to throw and catch and finish plays. We had a couple odd penalties, again, that came up big, and watch the film on those things from a schematic standpoint, and then part of it's emotional, part of it's tactical. It always is. Whether you score 60 or you score 6, there's always things you can do differently.
As you look internally at yourself, does anything right now jump out that maybe I could have done that, or maybe I should have seen the problem there?
No, I mean, again, I'm not. This is 100% on me, and it doesn't matter. The things that we, like I said, we had a little lax yesterday, and I thought we addressed it. I don't think I addressed it at the time, and talked about it and moved on. And we were better last night and better this morning from just a mindset standpoint and where we were. But other than that, there wasn't a big. We can just show up and blow these guys out type of mentality at all.
How shocked are you that a team like Arizona, as a middle-of-the-road team in the Pac-12, was able to do to you what you guys have been doing to teams for 5 years on offense?
Well, that's what like I talked to the team about. We're a team that if you get beat, they rush the field, and their team, whoever we play is 100% dialed in to try to get that job done, and they did a great job of it. And that's where and why, and you guys laugh at it. That's why we talk about our way and our standards, because if we don't, things like this can happen. And you look at our year, or Stanford loses to Utah and USC. We have to play a legitimate, real schedule this whole time, and today wasn't our day for sure.
Was it them being hot, because you guys looked on defense perplexed as to how to stop an offense that your team sees all the time, and they were doing to you what you guys do to everyone else?
Oh, I got what you're saying. Yeah, they have they're a little bit different than we are, but that's part of the frustration is just the execution part of it, and that's on us. That's on us as coaches to rally those guys back up and get them ready to roll. But it's not fun being on this end of the outcome.
Right before the half, you guys were marching on potentially 99-yard drive, and on 4th and short, obviously Marcus fumbled and they got the ball. You recovered, but it was not to the line again. How big was that sequence? Because then they go down and score.
Huge, yeah. That was a huge play. We had a couple plays before that I thought we had chances to make plays, and then we just couldn't quite stop them. The guy made the juggling catch there at the 1 yard line to get it down there, and again, got to give them credit, and then we'll go back and fix what we can fix.
How's Marcus today?
I don't know. He was fine when I was talking to him, just eye to eye, but I don't know.
Mark, how's Byron feeling?
How's
Byron feeling?
I don't know. He's frustrated like everybody else right now.
Are you worried about this team's identity going forward?
No. Again, everybody makes these broad-based statements of whether it's the game of the century or these guys have to blow up their program because they lost a game. No, we got beat today.
Last question.
Do you look at yourself, like when you're breaking down film, and think, maybe I should have called this play, or maybe I should have
Constantly.
just did that decision differently? So what do you take away as you progress through the season, and especially with this game? Where do you go from here for you?
We'll evaluate it just like we do, a win or a loss. We'll evaluate it, what we coulda, woulda, shoulda. Here's what we need to, accentuate. Here's what we need to eliminate, and then flush it and get ready for Oregon State.